Hi, I'm Mahmoud. Recently, a client came to me and asked me for some bass tracks. They wanted a performance from me, a live performance, nothing programmed. And they asked me for both a DI track of the bass as well as an amped track. I decided to do just that, but also add a mixed track for their convenience, just in case they liked the sound and wanted to use that. But on the way there, I encountered some issues. And it took me a bit longer than I liked to solve those issues, and I want to show you what was what and how I ended up solving that. Let's not waste any time, let's jump straight into Cubase and let me show you what is what. So, due to me not knowing if the client is actually going to release that song or not, or whatever is going to happen with that song, I cannot show you the song itself, but I will show you the bass performance, as that will not be giving away all that much. Let's listen to the bass performance first. The final result with everything mixed. I turn on the master chain as well, just so it's a bit louder. Here we go. Alright, I recorded this on my 5-string P bass, 5-string jazz bass. As you can tell, it's on the faster side, it's all a bit thrashier, and it took me a while to nail down that tone with the right hand, because it needed a lot of aggression from the get-go. Here's where I encountered the issues. I'm going to turn off all of the plugins, and I'm going to guide you through what I did step by step. Now be aware, I did do some gain staging within those plugins, so things might sound out of place as they are right now. Let's listen to the DI track by itself first. As you can tell, the aggression is already there, and it took me quite a while to get that down in the performance. If it's not in the performance, you're never going to get the aggression afterwards. So that's very important. The issue came when I started to reamp. And as with anything, if you have multiple sources, multiple microphones recording one source, you can run into phase issues. And that is exactly what happened, unfortunately. So I reamped this exact DI performance twice. Once with an overdrive sound and once with a super distorted sound. I recorded both of these overdrive and distortion sounds without a cabinet, so I can add a cabinet at the end of the chain to glue everything together. Here's the overdrive sound. And as you can tell, not that nice of a sound, but that's just normal because there's no cap to filter the stuff. And here's the distortion sound. The problem came when I started playing both of these together. It's not as phasey as it used to be because I did move the tracks a bit around, so I can fix that. But you can hear still some comp filtering in the mid-range, and that was annoying. That was so bad. So how did I fix that? I knew the DI track was fine, so let's start with that. I added at first CLA bass. It sounds like that. I don't know what this plugin does, but I threw it on there just to see what happens, and it slaps. It's so good. Still, after so many years. And then I added an EQ. just to tame the highs and the mids a little. And then I compress the hell out of it. Actually, I didn't. It's not that compressed. It's just played very hard. Yeah, I just paid a lot of attention to playing it really, really, really hard. And then at the very end, another EQ. Yeah, basically what I did is I compressed more with a lot of fast attack and fast release to even out the attack of the pick on that DI track a bit more. And I compensated for that with the loudness here. Can you hear how it just compresses everything a bit more? And then I turned on this parallax plugin. And I'm only using the cab side of things. So let's turn that on. And as you can see, I'm using a 57 and a 121 with these settings. And from there is where I turned on the amp sounds, basically the reamp sounds. Let's start with the distortion sound. As you can tell, it's very noisy, especially when there's nothing playing. And I hate that. I don't like that. So I turn on a gate. Basically, I turned down the threshold until the ground noise was filtered out. Fastest attack, fastest released, no hold, nothing, and just let it go. Pay attention to this. There you go. That's it. And then I turned on this EQ, where I added some mid-range, took out some low end, and filtered out the high end. Here's how that sounds before and after. And I turned it down. After that, I did some more EQing. Let's listen to that. What I did here is I notched out some of the mid-range again, as well as the low end. I know it sounds really hollow right now, but you have to put it in context with the other tracks to make for it to make sense, which is what I'm going to show you later on. Now let's listen to the bass overdrive sound. What I did here is I added some high end, some mid-range, some low end actually here, well, low mid, a 200, and I took out some low end as well as some filtering. And then I turned it all down. Let's listen to that. It makes it sound a bit less distorted, which is what the goal was. I didn't want this to be super distorted because that's what the other track is for. And then I added this EQ. I'm focusing more on the pick attack here, taking out some of that mid-range as to leave space for guitars, drums, vocals. And then all of these combined with the DI track is how it sounds now. We're getting somewhere, right? But still not quite there yet, because I still had the phase issues. I could still hear it, and it still annoyed me. So let's try and do that together. There's this plugin called FA Guitar Align by Forward Audio. And I do have the full version. I don't know how to activate the license right now. However, here's what I did with that. I threw it on the bus and I panned one of the bass tracks left, one of the other tracks right, as you can see here, left and right. And this automatically aligns the phase for you as best as you can. You play the track and then you hit align and then it does its magic. Let's listen to that. And there you go. It's as close as it gets. Let's listen to it before. so much clearer, so much better. This was a godsend because I was so annoyed at the mid-range and how it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And then what I did as a final step for the pick attack is I turned on the Pro MB just to tame the high end a little bit. It's very gentle. And then there's more processing. Yes, let's listen to what I do here. We have parallax on already, and then I turn on soothe. Basically for the mid-range and the low end. Also very gentle because soothe can ruin things for you very fast. Here's where the real magic comes into play. You think it sounded good before, but once you turn on this plugin with these EQ settings, it's so much cleaner, to me at least. And from there, I compressed it. Let's listen to that. I added the CLA 76. 76 always sounds great on bass, in my opinion. What I did was I added both some compression as well as volume. And let's listen to that. The compression here is gentle because stuff is already compressed and distorted, so I didn't need much. But at this point I was thinking, there was still some harmonics missing to my ear. So I added the decapitator. The mix is on full, and I used the A setting here, the A style. I turned up the brightness a little, and the drive is at around 3. Let's listen to that. Just a bit more pick attack, a bit more high end, a bit more shh, which I really like. It's like a blanket is getting lifted. It's fun. That sounds dull in comparison, right? Suddenly there's high end. The right kind of high end, in my opinion. And at the very end, just a little bit more notching and filtering. Just to make everything a little bit more smooth. So much smoother. So yeah, that was the issue I encountered, and I sent those tracks to the client, and they were like, yeah, I'm using the mixed one. So it was worth it in the end, but as you can see by the process and how many plugins there are, it took a bit longer than I really liked to figure out. Anywho, if you run into any of these issues that I had, maybe one of these steps can help you. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I've been Mahmoud, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you next time.